Next on our insights track, right here in room number 3. ASO plus retention equals game changer, 20-minute session. It brings in the users, but how do you keep them playing? Here we're going to learn all about retention and how it interacts together and how optimizing both can help your visibility, your conversion, and your spend within the game with Sergio Martinez.
All right, welcome and thank you for coming. Today we're going to be talking about how your ASO and your retention strategy can go together to improve your game's LTV, so it becomes a really game changer. My name is Sergio Martinez. She's Agatha Bejan. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Okay, so good. And I am an ASO senior consultant for Phiture, and she is the director of subscription.
CRM and subscription optimization. Yes.
There you go. But before we touch base on ASO, let me share a bit of my career background. So let's get here. So I graduated as a tech journalist many years ago, and that's when I discovered that my career needed to be around gaming. 6 years ago, more or less, I joined the ASO world, and last year I just joined Phiture. I know this may not be enough for a gaming show, so I'll just add that I'm a Pokemon League champion, that I am a Zombie Slayer on Call of Duty, and that, yeah, I finished once on Fortnite. It was by accident. Still counts, so now that we know each other a bit better, let's go to define what ASO is. So ASO has many definitions, and I think that the most accurate one would be like comparing it to storefront windows. So, you know, like in any store, like you have this storefront where you're showing your goods. In this case, we will show your games, and we need to convince people to get our product. So, as in real life, like, you know, like this storefront will be just the entrance of your store, and in our case, it would be the entrance to many teams working together, like retention, ASO, design, even monetization, and every kind of teams. But let's focus a little bit more on ASO. So, like Super Mario, ASO has 2 main missions. For Mario would be, you know, like beating Bowser and then saving Princess Peach. And for us, it would be all about increasing visibility and conversion. So visibility is all about getting your game in front of people, and conversion, sorry, would be like, once you've shown your game, let's convince people to get there, to install it. So that could sound simple, but it's actually hard because we know that there are more than 5 million apps out there. So that's why we have the ASO stack right here. It comes quite handy right now. You can see here that we have that it is divided. This is a strategic framework, so to do ASO, and we have it divided in 2 parts, like goals and foundation. So under goals, we have increasing visibility and conversion, which are like the main goals for ASO. And below that, we have the different actions we can take to affect one, the other, or both at the same time. So for example, if we want to increase visibility, first of all, we need to do a good metadata update. And then you can start thinking about, you know, like getting feature, like maybe getting like some ads done. And if you want to increase your conversion, now it's time to think about your visual assets, like your title, your screenshots, your icon, because that's what people are going to be seeing there. And also, if we want to touch both at the same time, localization is key, because not many people out there do it right. And you know, when people see something that in the language they speak, it's easier for everybody and for them to actually install your game in this case. But actually, before we touch on what color should the icon be, we need to understand what type of traffic we get. So we need to understand where people see us, so we can develop like strong strategies for this. Okay, so imagine you're playing Pokemon and you are going to fight Squirtle, the turtle, like the water one, and you have a Charmander, so it's the fire one. That wouldn't just work. We need to understand really the type of traffic we are getting so we can develop strong strategies. For example, these are all the ways people can discover us, and each one of them has a different focus. So if your traffic comes from top charts and featuring, focus a lot on your visuals, because that's what people are going to be seeing first. However, if your traffic comes from search, that's all good. But just focus on visuals, yeah, that's good. But do also focus a bit on the metadata, because that's how people are going to look for you. And maybe you could add like some ASA, some Google ads there to leverage it. And however, if your traffic comes from ads, like it's all good, but at least make sure your assets are kind of similar to the ones you are showing on the store, so people understand it's the same. And about live ops, we'll talk just in a bit. If we talk about increasing visibility, the Today tab is actually a great ally here because it can increase your impressions and installs by thousands. And you know, it's a great tool here, but getting featured doesn't happen just by accident. So there are some things you need to take into consideration, like for example, having great relationships with your App Store and Google Play Store representative. If you don't have one, it's not the end of the world because you can actually like get to them some other ways, but you need to pitch your game roadmap often and also ahead of time to make sure they understand how your game is going to be the perfect match for the game of the day. Also, you could consider like getting some exclusive, temporary exclusivity, or you could just do your QBRs and send it to them because Apple cares a lot about the storytelling of your pitch, but Google cares a lot about your numbers. So let's make this the focus of our QBR. Also, you could be keeping your ratings above 4 stars and keeping your crash rate to the minimum. That's key also. And don't forget to keep up with the latest store tools, like, for example, CPP, PPO, etc. Also, live ops. And speaking of which, live ops are a great way to increase your visibility, but also your retention and monetization. Because for ASO, as I said, it's good for visibility. They are shown everywhere. Like we have like the search results, the storefront page, many places. And it also can be used to target new users. So it's a good way to be visible and also to convert because we target them. And well, for retention, they are a great way because we can keep users active by like targeting them, and also we can target the lapsed users, the ones that are not playing anymore. And for monetization, yeah, you can actually select the price of your event. So you can do like Pokemon Go did like this year with the Pokemon Go Fest, and you can select the price and make your monetization go bigger. And now I'm going to pass it to Agatha, who's going to tell us all about retention. So
thank you, Sergio. Also, I hope everyone can hear me. I would like to also wish happy birthday to Sergio, who decided to enter a new decade here with us. So thank you so much for being here. Hi, everyone. I'm Agatha, and this is supposed to be a GIF. Oh, yeah, it works there. Sorry, it doesn't work here. And just like light and shadow and ASO and retention are two sides of the same coin, this is a great adaptation after one of my favorite games, The Legend of Zelda. My talk is going to be purely focused on retention. I'm mindful that this is an ASO track, so thank you for having me as an intruder. I've spent my last decade working for a few gaming companies as part of their marketing, product, and live ops. So that was a very interesting journey. And I've been around for the birth of push notifications and rebirth of them. And pretty much everything around the sun for CRM. And yeah, outside work, I really love casual games. I am absolutely obsessed with crushing candies and everything else that can be done in a casual game. So I will be I will be quickly focusing on why retention marketing, as Sergio mentioned, is very important in ASO and especially in App Store to make sure that you have a strong retention to continue be pushed by the app stores. But let alone the fact that it costs you a lot to acquire a new users, and it costs you a lot to acquire a new paying user. So I believe at this stage, this one mixed with a pretty low retention of day one in gaming, retention marketing is going to become a differentiator for the gaming companies. And I'm mindful that many games companies see retention or CRM rather as a tool, not necessarily part of the game development, but I am here to disagree. Not only because it's my job, but I did see in the past how having a good MarTech stack is going to help a gaming company to amplify the work of their game team. And as you can see, game development really and retention marketing are really focused a lot on kind of the same things. They have similar goals. Make sure that you increase the purchase frequency and you increase the repeated purchase rate in order to lead to higher LTV. Also, I have to apologize. I'm really a nerve wreck right now, so if my voice is shivering, please bear with me. Getting back to the purpose of the talk, I would say that games companies, from what I've seen, are really gold mines of data. So having a strong MarTech stack in order to work along with your tech stack for game development is really going to be a game changer for everyone, making sure that you make the most of your own data, which is technically free data, and that's really important. Also, CRM channels. I saw in the past CRM channels being treated as an afterthought, and that is a shame, because when bad things happen, when maybe a piece of content has one too many bugs, or maybe when we notice a churn rate higher than expected in the life cycle of a player, that's when we turn our face to push notifications, to emails, basically to our colleagues from CRM, and ask them to do miracles. But it's hard unless you make CRM channels integrated part of your game development work. So that is something that I would love for everyone to consider even from the pre-production phase of the game, because ultimately active players have the highest LTV. So making sure that you have a targeted, personalized CRM strategy is going to really amplify the work of your game development team, and that's what everyone wants at this stage, to make sure that the resources are in good use. This is a little bit of an example of how a good CRM strategy could look like for a mobile game. Is really focused on how each channel is going to contribute to each phase of a player lifecycle, how you can make the best use of push notifications, how you can make the best use of in-app messages and emails for each stage of your player lifecycle. And yeah, this presentation is going to be shared afterwards, but as you can see, each stage could benefit of a good suite of channels. And yeah, I promised I'm going to be quick, so I was quick. Be loyal to what matters. Make sure that you use your own data for marketing too, not only for game development, or maybe treat game development and CRM in an equal way. Plan for CRM channels from the get-go, and make sure that you support that with with CRM strategies that are purely targeted and personalized. And yeah, if anyone needs any help or would like to discuss further outside this session, we're going to be at booth B06, and that is really that. Thank you so much for listening.
Cool. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Any questions from the audience?
Let's see if anyone has questions.
Well, Agatha and Sergio, any questions? I've got a question, and it's a tricky one. Let me tell you.
Sorry.
Your favorite metric, the one thing that you personally keep an eye on and worry about day in, day out.
Sorry.
I'm not sure whether you heard that, Sergio. You got it?
Yeah.
Hey, fantastic. One metric of all of them that you personally stare at and worry about, and get excited when it goes up and burst into tears when it goes down.
I would say for sure that's installs rate. Yeah, when it goes up, it's like super good. When it goes down, you have to do your work and understand why it's going down, because sometimes it's a matter of aligning with your client and understanding the goals. So yeah.
How about you, Agatha?
I think retention, definitely, but retention is a really complex one, right? So in terms of all the work we do for CRM, that continues to be a focus for us. Even if it's day 1 retention, even if it's day 5 retention, that is one of the biggest focus, even for CRM.
Sure. And if there was one thing that Google and Apple could open up and let you know, they're going to grant you one wish, and you get to find out the secret information. What would that be?
I want to know the algorithm. So yeah, that'd be awesome. I know that's hard, but at least to know which factors matter the most for the algorithm, that would be super great.
How do you feel about that?
Definitely that, and we struggle a lot, of course, now that the GDPR and privacy changes are kind of reshifting the entire MarTech stack. I would say definitely trying to understand how the platforms are allowing us to be there. That would be a good one.
Well, we're going to get back on track. There is a question. Make it a very quick one. I'm going to sneakily squeeze you in before our next session.
Thank you. I have a question about the retention. So obviously retention depends also on the product itself. So how do you sort of clean the results of various retention channels to really make sure that they made the difference and it wasn't just something that happened in the product at the same time?
Yeah, that is a wonderful question, and I think is really important to make sure that the way we work at the moment is, sorry, I keep hearing myself. The way we work at the moment is really by having clear control groups, having a clear understanding of how we measure, and I think the data and the measurements are going to be the answer here. I don't think it's going to be fully separated, but the whole point is not to work against each other. The whole point is to work with each other. So each part of every time when something happens in the game, either you launch a new piece of content or you have a different type of live event, the idea of CRM is to amplify that. So with clear control groups where you keep players away from the CRM content, that's what is going to help you define a little bit better or more accurate the importance of CRM and why is it amplifying what your team does. Does this answer the question? Yeah, good.
Yeah, anything further to add, Sergio? You're okay.
No, I'm all good. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you to Agatha and Sergio. Thank you for that. It was a great talk.
Thanks so much, everyone.
Beautiful. Thank you.